I'm a Pisces. March 5th, baby.
Okay. You have any kids?
I have a son.
How old is your son?
He's going to be 2. He's another Pisces, just like his daddy.
Why you not with the mama?
He's March 10th.
Why you not with the mama? You had a baby since you've been on my show, too.
Yeah. Another person trying to run the system, try to take advantage, you know.
She raped you?
Yeah, you can say that. We won't, as a man, I can't really run with that narrative because nobody can really believe it. But yeah, I put it on the Bible that that's what happened. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still an accountable adult. Still got to do what I have to do in this world, you know, because that is my prodigy. So nevertheless, how he got here, that's what we doing.
I need the details of how you got raped by the girl.
How many times has Kendra G talked to women who've come onto her show and said that they've been assaulted in some type of manner? Name me the number of times when Kendra G says, hey, okay, well, explain to me your great mental note.
She is not a citizen of America. So naturally, if you've been in America illegally.
Shout out to the Do Better podcast for capturing this video. Kendra deleted it from her channel. I mean, I'm sure y'all have been seeing the video by Papa Dan going around where she's basically mocking him and his trauma and what have happened to him. As he just explained, his baby mama, she took advantage of him. That's what he said. And she want to go, he raped you? That's not what he said. Now, as we go further on in the video, what he explains that happens to him, it would be considered rape or sexual assault.
Essay.
It would be considered that. But the way she had to just say it like that, and mind you, he did not say that. She brought that up. Keep that in mind as we go through this video.
Correct. And very astutely pointed out by Mr. Theo Coop. I mean, it's almost universal that the female guests come on Kendra's show and say they were victim of some kind of essay or rape or something along that line, and she never has any pushback for any of these women. It's like maybe a 7 out of 10 come up here with that, especially the multiples, the 5 for 5s and 6 for 6. They always start right there that, you know, there's something foul that took place to start off. And I've never heard her ask for details and you know, the intricates and to recap it and all of that. But keep that in mind as we play through the video. And if you also, if you didn't notice, you might want to rewind, but just look at her facial expression as this brother's explaining what's going on. Let us continue.
You know, you're going to try to do your best to try to stay. And in your mind and way of thinking, not even if you ask any of your homegirls that's international too, they'll tell you, ain't a good idea to just, go up and sleep with an American dude and just try to have a baby so you can try to stay in America, hoping he will marry you. That's what they be hoping they gonna marry you. No, they ain't gonna get got, ain't gonna get Papa Dan. No, ain't gonna get me.
Papa Dan, so I wanted you to explain your side.
What's up?
With all that being said, you still have to willingly have, this is why I said, because that's the only way a woman could trap you. Right. But if you willingly had sex with her, then you participated. So did you willingly have sex with her?
I mean, she got me. I used to make wine back then. So, like I said, on the level of accountability,
she Bill Cosby you? She gave you a pill?
For me, I can say on a level of accountability, you know, when a woman wraps their legs around you in the process of you being on top and you trying to relinquish yourself from the situation, and she's saying, no, dude, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna have my baby. And in that moment, as a dude, you're like, all right, well, shit, we gonna do plan B like we normally do. And then she looked at me like, no, we ain't doing that neither. So, you know, I was like,
okay, so again, so she's letting you know all this in the act, and you still went through with it. So how was this?
He literally just explained to you, Kendra G, but Kendra G is one of those women who they can't fathom a man being taken advantage of. And let me throw this out there, because even when men are victims, like this gentleman is going to explain that he is, even when men are victims, men are still held accountable. We would never put a magnifying glass on a woman if she ever said she was assaulted. But as a man, I can say this, Papa Dan, you messed up by having intercourse with a low caliber woman. If she's just trying to sleep with you for a green card, she's not a woman of high character. The second of all, you should have wore a condom, bro. You would have had your rubber on when the time happened, and she's try to lock you in, because that's what she's saying, Kendra G. Because Kendra G's not the brightest bulb in the pack. You need to explain to her how sexual organs work. When he went to ejaculate, Kendra, what he's trying to explain to you is that she wrapped her legs around him and held him inside of her, which meant that the only thing that he could do is releasing her and then have her get a plan B in the morning to prevent said pregnancy. And she said she wasn't going to do it.
You know, women's right, her body, her.
And Kendra, sometimes I don't believe that this woman knows what sex, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe she know what that is. It's like she act like she ain't never had it. Like
For
she's
real.
never done the deed.
For
Because
real.
we all understand what he's talking about.
Yes.
And Theo, he broke it down. Like she wrapped her arm, not her arms, but her legs around him, and he's locked in like it's a wrestling move.
True.
This is a submission move now.
It is at
How
that
is he
point.
supposed to get her? How is he supposed to get her out? What would it look like if this man threw a woman off of him?
Come on.
Any man is strong enough to actually do some damage to a woman, because we
Right.
are, the weaker vessel. But a man his size throws a woman off of him, they coming to arrest him.
Right.
What was he
Absolutely right.
supposed to do?
Right. He could indeed face some other charges behind all of that, that act right there. And that he was taken advantage of in that scenario
Yeah.
that was painted. Kendra act like he couldn't be taken advantage. I mean, just look at her face throughout the whole ordeal. And Kendra said some things, and she's went off on tangents and made some outlandish statements. But I think this was by far, this was her lowest moment in history right here, at least on the show. Like, this was disgusting. That's what it was to me. Anyway, let us continue.
Choice.
Exactly. So here's the deal: her body, her choice. But you can decide not to put your body inside her body. That
Very
was your
well
choice.
so. And that's the level of accountability that I have in the situation. I used to be a winemaker. She got me drunk off my own supply. I don't ever drink my own supply. 13% alcohol content. She said, "Ooh, Daniel, come and drink this wine with me in the room. I'm gonna bring a glass." I'm like, I ain't trying to, but my dumb self did what it did, and that's just the level of accountability I have for it. So here we are today, trying to hope and pray we can find a wholesome woman that could treat your boy right. Somebody with some knowledge on her side that then.
And she doesn't believe that get someone can get someone drunk and then essay them. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not computing in her mind.
Right.
He's explaining to you that he doesn't drink, and then he makes wine, and she got him drunk
Right.
off of his own wine.
Wouldn't
This
take
has
much.
happened. This has happened. This has happened before, obviously. And then if she reads the Bible, it has happened in the Bible.
For sure.
I believe
For
with
sure.
Lot, Samson, where women
Mm-hmm.
have taken advantage of men that were drunk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, so
Absolutely.
what are you talking
Absolutely.
about? It can't happen. A woman can't get a man drunk and then have sex with him
Right.
for
This
whatever reason
this
that
is
she's trying to have sex
this is
with him for.
this is Kendra again. Her jaded feminist mindset. This is why I don't think she's qualified to host anybody's dating show. If she wants to talk to women like that, okay, that's fine. But it's one sided. You can't have relations with it's all about one side. She feels that women couldn't possibly take advantage of a man, and not only in the way that she said, not he said, but the way Kendra tried to phrase it, she thinks that's not possible. And then with the wine, she's going to, again, it's the accountability. It's his fault that he got into the situation because of whatever, and maybe he shouldn't. Whatever she's gonna say, he shouldn't have went over there messing with her. He should have had a condom on. He shouldn't have been drinking wine. It's all about what he did, and he took accountability.
Yeah, he did.
Theo said it. He said it. I mean, he's took accountability at least 2 times to this point in this video. So he know the part that he played in it, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't taken advantage of. Like it can happen.
And then the other way, not only was he taken advantage of in a sexual way, but he was taken advantage of financially,
Mm-hmm.
because she was trying to have this baby with him to get child support. She was
Mm-hmm.
trying to have this baby with him so to convince him to marry her.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow, then she would get citizenship through the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to take advantage of this man in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
Kendra, why? Like, she didn't even
Absolutely.
address that way.
Right.
Her
Right.
mind went to the grape and all of
Right.
that. This lady was trying to, she was trying to run a
Right.
scam. And ain't you used to scammers, Kendra?
Mm. Mm.
Aren't you familiar with scammers?
Mm.
That's besides the point.
Mm.
But this lady was trying. I mean, it worked.
Yeah,
She
she
got a
got a
baby
seed.
out of him,
Yep.
and
Yep.
whatnot. Now he didn't marry her or anything like that, but this lady was trying her hardest, and it just, she didn't
Mm-hmm.
recognize that besides the grape, the lady was
Mm-hmm.
trying to
And
scam him and
exactly.
get him got.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Taken advantage of has a wide context. But again, the feminism mind, if when you hear
right,
that from a woman, you think of, you know what I mean? If
yeah,
you,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It has its connotation as a woman, but as it's wide. It's not wrong to think like that. It's just it's connected. If a woman says he took advantage of me, we're gonna automatically go to woo woo, and that's what Kendra did when he said she took advantage of me. She automatically went to the grape. You understand what
yes,
I'm trying to say? Like she massaged it that way because again, her mind is feminist jaded. It's not balanced. It only computes one way. So this is why she's having this disbelief. Just look at her face on this paused moment throughout. I'm gonna keep going back. Just look at her face. She's sitting here like she might as well be laughing at this brother. Like it's crazy. Now, again, this is her low point, and it's not a surprise. She's not brave enough to face it. She always says no videos come down, and I don't do this. When the backlash and the heat came, it took her maybe an hour to take this video down.
and
So
mind you, the backlash came from the women in her
on
comments.
right, because most of her adversaries, the podcast men that she likes to go off about, they had to get it from a source. Like the masses, us as the creators, we didn't even get to it in the masses. Like we had to get it from those who caught it right there. It was her comments who told her that she was wrong and she shouldn't have did
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Been through the trenches and know how tough it is in this dating pool that got all the piss in it, you know?
Rolling her
Look at her
eyes.
face, bro.
We're all work in progress out here, you know?
Look at her face.
That's the story you really want to tell? So that's the story you really going with?
I'm gonna say you put the words in my mouth when you initially said rape.
No, you were supposed to. I was, hold on. I was being.
What's that?
I said that. No, hold on, real quick. I said that because you said a woman trapped you. So sarcastically, I said, "Oh, she you,"
Right.
and then you said yes.
Why would you sarcastically say that? I'm telling you, women like this, they can't fathom that women assault men. Women assault men every single day, just like there's piece of shit men out here who assault women. You can see that obviously one way with men doing it to women, but she can't see it the other way. Like you don't see women every single day being arrested for being high school teachers, getting impregnated by high school boys. This happens every single day.
You know what? A man can never be a damsel in distress.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be masculine. We're not supposed to have feelings. But in the whole light of the situation, when we had the pre-conversation about kids, I didn't want to have kids at that time.
So here's the deal. Okay, if you don't want to have kids at times, then your responsibility is A, you don't have sex with her because you don't want to have kids. B, you wear a condom to protect yourself from having kids. Yeah. And then we can have the grown folks. There is a grown folks pull-out game. So my thing is, regardless of what she said, you are still.
Again, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
She doesn't.
I'm convinced that this woman has never,
Yeah.
besides her saying
Minimal.
that she had the little the deletion in her 20s. I it's hard for me to believe that this woman has ever did the deed, because how she
Mm-hmm.
don't understand positions. He just told you that she wrapped her legs around him.
She's
How
not
you gonna
listening.
pull out?
She's not listening, man. That's all. She's not listening.
Like, it's not, it's going over her head, or the feminist is,
Jaded. She's jaded.
yeah, it's got her
See,
jaded that
when
she can't
he
hear the
explained it,
truth.
she's got her own pictures in her mind about what's going on here. He explained it perfectly. He said exactly what happened. But she's
Yeah.
still, again, the accountability is still on him. She could have tied him up. She would have still said, "Oh, well, you shouldn't have did this." Like, come on, like, Kendra, you were wrong. Like, obviously she was wrong because she took the video down. But the
Right.
reason, again, and as we're going along, even if you look at the title, it's a whole lot of cancel culture and cancel Kendra. I'm not with the canceling. I'm not really for all of that. We don't really stand by that. You got a right to speak, you can speak. And if you spewing something that's ridiculous, we want to hear it. We need to hear it. Don't let them think in silence. Let them keep talking in the forefront. But in this
Exactly.
scenario, Kendra needs to be humbled. She needs to apologize. She needs to apologize to this brother. She needs to apologize to brothers in general that went through this. And she definitely needs to apologize to all the victims of SA, grape, or any other kind of foul play. Because she kind of offended everybody with this.
Yes.
Like, she needs to get on her platform with that loud throat and apologize. Cancel? Nah, that's too easy. She already made money. If we cancel her today or tomorrow, she's just gonna ride off into the sunset with the money she got, disappear and do something else. No, I want her to
Yeah.
come on here and humble herself and give this brother the apology he deserved, along with, again, men as a whole and victims of SA. She needs to apologize.
And she won't, if we counsel her today, she won't stop making money. Her videos are already up. People are
True,
still gonna watch them, and then she get paid for the views and
true.
whatnot. It's not gonna stop anybody from watching
Mm-mm,
her videos.
mm-mm,
What would really stop her show or whatever, if that y'all really want to do that, is for men not to go on the show,
mm-hmm,
because she got a whole bunch of desperate biddies. And
mm-hmm.
think about it. Imagine she got nobody to match them up with, because there's no men. I mean, there's
The show's
already no
over.
men
Right.
anyway, but all,
Overtly,
every
we're telling you there's no men.
right,
Like,
there's
mm-hmm.
literally no men. No men call in night after night. There's
And
nothing but women.
as perfect that you go there, Queen, that would be our leverage. if
Yeah,
if this was to be a larger movement and we could hold her feet to the fire, there no men on the show
no
until we
men.
get justice for Poppy Dan. The
And
show
no
would
men on the app.
theoretically end. On the app, everybody leave. Everybody, we have to stand together. We got to stand 10 toes down and lock arms. No men on the app. Let that be ladies' night. It'll be the Golden Girls over there, and them
Right.
ladies will stop paying because it'll be no men unless the
Exactly.
unorthodox ladies out there, cunnilingus inclined or whatever, they might have their party, but as the masses, all this 100K, six figures, and all that, we taking all that away. Even of the small 1% of the men that actually come on here with that, we taking them away. Take away all
Right.
the hope.
You
That's
ain't
what we
got
should
no
do.
hope.
No hope. That's
And
it.
then
This ladies' night
then
over there.
they're gonna stop. They're gonna stop paying for that the little
Mm-hmm.
premium subscription on the
Mm-hmm.
app, whatever her little
Mm-hmm.
membership chats or whatever she got
Mm-hmm.
going on,
Mm-hmm.
membership groups. Look, because
All
there's no
that
men. She
done.
can't match you with nobody because
There's no
there's no
matching.
men left.
Right. It's ladies' night.
So
That's it. It'd
so
be ladies' night and that weirdo Jay that be calling 12 times and going to
he'll
all
get
her
all the
events.
ladies.
Yeah. He'll
He'll
get out, he'll have
because
his pick. Right.
because unfortunately he's still gonna call in.
We
So
can't, he's not with the team. We could exclude
right.
him. But for
Right,
the
but
most
I
part,
think that's what should happen.
that's what should happen. That would be the call to arms. If anybody's listening, we could rally. I don't know, how much traction we could get, but that would be the solution. We're not canceling her. We're not letting her off the hook. Get your ass up there and put that dog weave wig on. Sit up there in front of your penthouse and have a sincere moment and apologize because you was wrong.
Exactly. And then the apology has to be as loud as the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So don't text it, don't
Mm-mm.
type it,
Mm-mm.
nothing like
Mm-mm.
that. Get up on
Mm-mm.
live
And
and
doll
record
up.
it.
Yep. Put on all your grandiose extras and all that, and sit up there with that loud throat. I want to hear it from the top, from the back. Apology, sincere. Like, come on, man. This was
Sincere.
terrible. This was
That's all.
disgusting.
That's
You know,
all.
we were
And
on
then
vacation, but this was disgusting to me. I'm sorry.
and Poppy Dan, he's all he said he wanted is to go back on the show and have like a fair, shake, So that's all he wants, So he
That's
did do
come
an
on.
interview with Theo and whatnot, but that's what he
Shout out
said
to
he
him.
wants. So
Oh,
so just to keep that in mind, that's what
w-
Poppy Dan wants.
one more aside before we continue. I got to give this one. Shout out to Theo Coop, Don Lexi, everybody who covered this. These brothers did a phenomenal job putting this all out there and getting the screen grab, getting the live, and getting everything out there. I almost didn't want to do it because they did it so well. And I wanted to, not wanted to, but it would have probably been better to take Theo off because Theo nailed it. With Theo speaking, we didn't even have to say anything. He nailed it to a T. We just giving you our insight and throwing our 2 cents on top proverbially to go around. But shout out to the Do Better podcast. Everybody out there that covered this. Y'all did an amazing, amazing job. They didn't let her off the hook. But we still on her neck. So we gonna keep going. She done rigged the comments. You can't put Poppy Dan in the comments and all that. But we coming. We still coming. We ain't letting you off the hook with this one.
No,
I'm not.
justice for Poppy Dan. Drop
Facts.
down in the comments and put justice for Poppy Dan if you made it this
Facts.
far in the video.
Facts. Let us continue.
Still a man that has to take accountability for
I've already,
participating in the
like I've already
activity.
said, we can rewind the video, love. I've already taken accountability for the whole issue of
which shows Kendra G is not listening. He literally said this minutes ago, but she's not listening because she's already has him tuned out because there's no way in her mind that a man could be assaulted sexually.
it.
So
I'm
let's
not
just do
nowhere.
this then.
What's
Let's on
up?
record deny that you were because you was not.
Like she was there.
I'll just say in any woman's eyes, no. But if I was to talk to a group of men and tell them what happened, it didn't happen to several dudes. We just don't talk about it. These are like stories we don't tell. Crip stories we just don't tell. But at the end of the day, my perception is my perception of what really happened. Only I and the person that had the child that up and decided to be a single mother, because a lot of times you don't understand. If there are women striving out here to be single mothers, they do not want men in the picture. And that is the thing in the black community.
Hold on real quick.
What's that?
I'm not disagreeing with her intentions, right? Maybe her intentions were to get pregnant by you, to stay in America. There's no disagreement there.
Right.
The intentions of what you're describing could very well be true. The disagreement is you claiming to have been like that's the disagreement.
Discrepancy wise, so I can give you so we can move on. I got drunk off my own supply of wine that I made, that I squished with my hands. You serve me wine, you force it down my throat, I get drunk. Now, every woman's story is if they get drunk and they get instantly the man is guilty, he goes to jail, lock away the key in the chamber of secrets. But like I said, in America, realistically, that will never be the man's narrative. And that's why
pause.
Let me finish. That's why
I'm not gonna let you finish because I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm jumping in because
sure.
You are telling the wrong story. When those women
Wait a minute.
Did she
Wait a
literally
minute.
tell this man while he's telling his story, you're telling the wrong story? The
And
nerve
then
to tell a assault victim that their narrative is wrong. They're the one that went through it.
like she was sitting there and watching. She's got the
Are you
tapes.
serious?
She tried to as well get him to denounce that this happened to him. Like, you put the
This
term
is
on that. He didn't. You did. You said that. He didn't say that. He said he got took
no.
advantage of. You said he got great. Now you want him to
Right.
take back something that you said? She's a
Right.
bozo. This
And
is just, again, just Kendra's worst moment. Go ahead, Queen.
and as a sexual assault survivor, so this is something that happened to me in 20 years ago. Um, this is triggering
Hmm.
to hear So, you know, when you tell someone your story, what happened to you, and they sit up there and laugh and mock you. Oh, that
Mm,
didn't happen.
mm,
How do you know what happened? Was you there?
mm, mm.
You gonna
Crazy.
tell you're gonna tell me how to tell my story.
You're
And
telling
that's
the
what she's
wrong
doing to
story.
Poppy Dan, telling him how to tell his story.
You're
I feel
telling the
triggered, y'all.
wrong story. I mean, again, I
Yeah.
say it again. In the beginning, I said this was her lowest moment for sure. 100%.
This is very low. Like she
Yeah.
wouldn't tell, as a
Man.
woman, I can acknowledge if I went on there and told my story, she wouldn't tell me, "Oh, that's
And
not true."
and let me say this, nor shouldn't she. Like I wouldn't want her to
Yeah.
do that to a woman. That's not what I'm calling for. Like let's
No,
keep it
but how
right.
she
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
not equal across the board because there's
Yep.
been multiple women that come on there talking
Hmm.
about stuff that didn't happen. Like she'll just
She has a quote.
just
Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you, and it
right.
will
I'm
go
sorry
right
that
on.
happened because we've even on this channel we've heard some stories and we were like, how old was you? How
Hmm.
old was he?
Hmm.
Um, you
Mhm.
know,
Just
I
because
think
she
that might have
says
been,
this happened,
you
it
know,
happened. Mhm.
and whatnot. But Kendra didn't really. She didn't tell that woman to break down what happened to you. She want
This
this man to detail what happened to him. Like that's just so disrespectful
this
to
is
to all the assault victims and survivors
and
out there.
as well. Let's take it in context. Like you're hosting a dating show. You're not a cop. This is an interrogation. Like
Right.
she's interrogating this brother. Like and what she doesn't believe and what couldn't be. It's not for you to believe. You here to present him.
Right.
You
The,
say you the host, but you want
just
it has to
host.
pass your belief in what makes sense in your stupid, slow, 12-year-old education mind. Like nothing's gonna make sense to you because you're not a sensible person, especially when it's coming from a man. Because all you
Yeah.
understand is one side. Your feminism doesn't leave you to be balanced or even. You're jaded. And again, I say it one more time. She should not host a dating show because she only has half of the equation. She knows nothing about men. She doesn't know how to speak to men. She doesn't know how to keep a man. So, with that being said, she's disqualified. Like dating show, this is not. This is a joke. This is a joke.
It's the clown show. Shout out to
Shout out to
MABW.
MABW for real.
Using the example of they A have passed out, right?
No. First of all, how are you going to tell that man what happened to him? Bang! Bang! It's good. How in the hell are you going to tell that man what happened to him? You weren't there. And what Kendra Jesus trying to insinuate is that if you ever hear a story of a woman being with a man and having too much to drink, it's because she's passed out. She can't give his consent. That is a lie from the pits of hell. Women can turn around, have sex with a dude, had too much to drink, wake up the next morning and say, damn, well, I regret having sex with a dude. You don't have to be passed out unconscious. They can just say, hey, I regret having sex with a dude. That was great now, even though it wasn't great last night when he was taking you to Pound Town. Or there doesn't even have to be alcohol involved. A woman could just say the very next day or hours later after having intercourse with a dude, she could turn around and say, well, no, I take that back. It was great. Kendra G is in certain scenarios that didn't happen. They're going to tell this man how he was assaulted. What?
So these are women that if they were drugs, they will say that they were not even coherent in the act of sex. They
I'm
cannot.
telling
Hold
you that
on.
I wasn't
No,
coherent.
you are coherent because you told me exactly what happened. You told me she was on top of you. You told me that
I
she
told
said
you
she
I
was.
was on top of her. She put her legs around me.
Either way, you are telling me exactly what happened in the sexual activity. So you were
Right.
not, you were conscious. So you can't use that as an example. And conscious, only thing you can say is if you don't remember nothing, and then that will still be hard because then it'll be like, how did you have an erection? But long story short, you cannot compare yourself to
Man,
women who have been drugged.
this bozo. You can have an erection when you're unconscious. That thing move on its own. You wake up, ping, you up
Why she
already.
don't
Like
understand like human anatomy and physiology? Like why she don't understand
dummy,
body
man.
parts?
Dummy. Ugh, dummy.
Just
Goodness
because
gracious.
that ice, that cat be on cold and
Mm-hmm.
It's an ice queen
She
down
ain't
there.
wake
Like,
up to She ain't wake up to a hard pee-pee in a long time, probably.
shoot.
Right. Get out of here,
Like,
man.
oh God,
I mean, come
I
on.
don't even want to go here. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there because that's triggering. But to try to explain all of this,
No.
but
Those things happen. I've heard,
that happens.
women
Yes.
being essay great. They didn't want action, but the
It's
the
still, yeah,
kitty
it still
still was
responds.
receptive. It's a defense
Yes.
mechanism. That's what
Yes.
the wetness is, to stop the friction of the skin on skin. Like that's like a defense mechanism. And if I've even heard of them climaxing, even though they weren't consenting or enjoying the act. But the
Yes.
defense, the organ works independent of the mind sometimes. It's a
Yes.
bodily function. It's wood. It can happen when you don't want it, when it's not necessary. It could not happen when you need it. It's a body function, Kendra. Stupid. Educated. Hampton, huh?
So,
Hampton.
right.
Come on,
I don't
man.
know what type of education they was
Some
giving out,
right. She
but
somebody
God,
said this, like she earned that education on her back, probably. And I wouldn't be surprised, because if you tested her right now, I'm sure she's failing any college level curriculum or whatever courses. She's not getting one credit if you put her in school today. Dummy. Right.
and then what she doesn't understand is that the no means no. Like, you
Hmm.
can withdraw
Consent
consent at
at
any
any
time.
point.
I mean,
Like,
we as women use this all the time. Oh, well, I told him yes, and we got to do the do, and then I decided I didn't want to do that,
mm,
and now
or
it's grape.
or blanket, like, once consent is given, it's not in perpetuity. Like you said, at any point in the act, you can rescind your consent for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
If you consent to go do the do with a young man, and you get into it, and halfway through, the door opens up and three more young men pull up in there, you gonna say, "Oh, nah, that's not. Nah, I'm not. I don't want
Right.
that. I'm not good with that." Is it no law? Is it disqualified as a grape because you gave the consent initially? Once you rescind and say, "No, I'm good. I don't want to do this," that's it. Anything after that is an essay, grape, or whatever we would be considerized in the court, or whatever the
Yes.
proper,
So
terms would be.
she's thinking that for men that don't count. I guess
No,
consent laws and stuff only
are
applies to
different.
women.
Right. Right. There's a male consent is different than female consent, right?
I guess
I
so.
like to
In
see that in the law
Kendra's
book. Maybe
feminist
right,
mind,
right. In her education. That's what, and when she went to school, she read that like it's rules for thee, but not for me. Like, okay, I got you. I got you.
mm,
drugs because these women don't remember anything. You can recite
Quote
the
unquote.
actual.
No, quote unquote. That's what I'm saying. She's saying that shit is it's a fact. And also, Kendra G, he can still get an erection even if he doesn't remember it, or all the other excuses you're
Quote
using.
unquote, Kendra don't remember anything. Anybody can wake up from consciousness during the act of something and completely fall back asleep. And when you go to court, like I said, it's her word against mine. Like I said, Kendra, at the end of the day, I'm not here to stir no pot. I'm not on here to stir the Yaya Sisterhood, Traveling Pants Club. We ain't here to do none of that. We just
Facts.
here to see if there's any honest women out here that can understand their brother's situation, because there's a lot of other brothers have been through the same thing I have. And I could be a bitter baby daddy, and I could be bashing her all over the world like most men would, but I don't have time to do that. I'm a progressive male. I done moved on with my life. She done got a whole nother man and is doing what she's doing. So for me, we can all we can do is be adults about any situation and move past it. If we can't work what we got out, we'll pass
Babe,
it.
we're gonna move forward with the interview, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Only a goofy woman is gonna reach out to you.
Do you hear what she just said?
So what you were talking about, you gotta understand that type of woman is gonna hit you up. Any woman with any sense is gonna look at what you're saying about your ex and the child's mother and try to consider that as like, what the hell are you talking about?
Now, has Kendra G ever told any of these disgusting baby mamas?
Never. No, she hasn't, and no, she won't. Why? Again, she's trying not to offend her base, who pays her and keep her in this penthouse. She would never tell one of them like that unless they really offended her. And why would this brother qualify for a goofy woman? He just stated what happened, because he got into it or whatever was the case prior. That does not indicate going forward like he's gonna blow the whistle again or something like that. Like he's gonna blame something on you. He explained the scenario pretty clear. He's still handling his business. He's still, he was interviewed, so we got a little more insight if y'all didn't catch the follow up. But he's still taking care of his kid. His business is still going. He's still moving around. Then he's doing what he's supposed to do. Like he said, I'm a progressive male, so I'm not gonna let that stop me to steal my offspring, my prodigy. I gotta keep going. Why would he qualify for goofy? Again, Theo nailed this. I've never heard her tell these women that. And this I've heard, and just one comes to mind. She was 5 for 5, 5 boys, had a baby at 13, 14. She said she was SA. Kendra didn't say nothing. Didn't say only thing you can qualify for is a goofy. I had her up there maybe 2 times, I believe, at this point. That's just one that just sticks in my mind. But they all come on with the same story, and this, not to say that it didn't happen, but it's always along that line. They take an essay or a grape for one of their baby, that's a mistake. Oh, well, I got grape. That's one down. So now we only got to explain the other 6. Okay, well, he graded me. So, and Kendra doesn't give pushback. Again, shout out to Theo Cool, Don Lexi, all the brothers who covered this because they did a magnificent job. It was really nothing else left to be said. They ate, like y'all say, they didn't leave a crumb. They didn't leave a crumb. Like, it was disgusting. She's a bird brain. And again, we're not calling for her cancellation. I want her humbled. She should come to the masses, to the public, with that makeup, wig, and doll yourself up like you about to cook, and you want to read the comments and all that, and come and apologize to the people that were listed. SA victims, men as a whole, and especially Poppy Dan. Or nobody, no men should go on her show. We need to hold her feet to the fire. She need to take responsibility and accountability and apologize because she was wrong. She's not bigger than the internet and the world, and she's above reproach. Nah, she disrespected that man. She disregarded his situation. And on the whole, the real reason to cover this is because this is a symptom of the time. She's not the only one that thinks like that. She's not the only woman that thinks like that. When you get into something and it becomes a man might, he said, she said, for lack of a better term, she's one of those believe all women, and you can't do this. This can't happen to you. You're a man. Like that's a dangerous and a poisonous rhetoric that we have in our community for sure. So we need to address this, and this needed to be spoke about. It happened, you know. I'm sure. I hope anybody, and I think Dan, you or Papa Dan is in St. Louis. Go out there, support that brother in any way you can. Um, we need to get on Kendra's wig helmet for this nonsense, and that apology should be on the way. Well, she's not going to do it because she's haughty and she thinks she's high and mighty, but it's a necessity. She needs to address this. Like deleting the video, that ain't gonna do nothing. She's deleted a couple lives since then. Kendra's crashing out. The spotlight is too big for her. She got too much dip on her chip. So it's only a matter of time, like before she really does something that's outrageous. If this brother was of the rainbow variety, she probably would have been out of there already. But we need to hold her accountable. I'm gonna turn it over to the queen, and then we'll close it out from there.
So we're gonna go ahead and link Papa Dan's his Instagram in the description. So be sure to check out his Instagram. Go give him a follow. We're gonna make sure that that we support the brother and whatnot. And yeah, Kendra's got a feminist mindset. She doesn't, it's the believe all women, women can't do no wrong type thing. So, she wasn't even trying to hold this woman that did this to him accountable. You're not even seeing the ways that she tried to take advantage of him. Like, she tried to take advantage of him in so many different ways, not just to get the seed. She was trying to get that green card. She trying to get citizenship, whatever she could get out of him. Child support, all of that. She probably was trying to get, she was trying to get married to him. And then probably was going to turn around, divorce him, try to get some alimony. She was going to get everything she could from this man. Like, she probably wasn't attracted to him and whatnot. She just saw, okay, he owned a business, because I think he has a food truck, or it might be a restaurant, like a brick and mortar restaurant. I'm not sure. But she saw that he owns a business. This is a brother with some resources. Let me try to get, take him for everything. And another reason why I think Kendra was trying to, like, she didn't believe that this could happen, is that she didn't find Poppy Dan attractive.
Yep.
He's a big guy and all of this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why would a woman try
Mm-hmm.
anything with you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He
True.
has resources.
Yep.
He's doing well for himself. I mean, that's what it appears to be. Like, he was just trying to look for a good woman. He came across this tether that
Mm-hmm.
that
Tried to link herself. Mm-hmm. Attach
right,
herself.
that
Mm-hmm.
did you wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. But so Kendra don't believe that him something like this could happen to him. So not just that it would happen to men, but she
Period.
don't
But
believe it
him
would
in
happen to
particular.
him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
because in her mind, everything got to be perfect. Like, she lives in
Mm-hmm.
this utopia.
Superficial. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Everything has to be one for one. Everything has to be even.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't
Yep.
know what be going on in her brain sometimes.
Me neither.
Like,
Not a lot. I'll tell you that.
but it's probably like feminist, 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 womenist,
Mm-hmm.
most important, all of that probably be swimming around in her brain, and whatnot. And the last thing I want to say is, any Papa Dan hate will not be tolerated
Facts.
underneath this video. If you
Facts.
try to come with anything relatively
Right.
that appears relatively as hate for Papa Dan or any type of sexual assault survivors, it will not be tolerated.
You should. If you agree with what Kendra rhetoric and how she felt, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are part of the problem. And if you look deeper and you look in the mirror, like, we would understand, like, that's just a disgusting practice to have. And anybody who's gonna follow this bird brain behind this and come and try to say, he did this and that, you're a goofy. Like she said, you're a goddamn goofy, is what I'm telling
And
you.
don't waste your time commenting, because I'm
Yeah,
telling you right now, it would be a waste of time.
yeah, it
So
definitely. So
so keep
this
it
is
moving. Go
right.
go over there to
Go, yeah, go
the
put it
Queen
on her
Hyena.
page. Yeah,
Go put it
word.
on her page.
I'm not having that. Like, that was wrong. It was wrong, Universal. This shouldn't even be up for discussion, to be honest with you. Like, I even have to shout out some of the cousins, because it was the cousins who got her to take that down. This wasn't from the podcast men that, her adversaries and all that. This was from the people who was watching. So this shouldn't even be up for discussion. Period. Like, there's no backlash. It shouldn't be. That's just that. It was cut and it was dry. It happened. Whatever he said happened. Well, I don't know if what he said happened is 100%. I wasn't there. But the challenge and the pushback, what Kendra did was wrong. Period. No matter what the story was or she's wrong. End of story. And we're gonna cut it off right there. We ain't gonna do the official sign out. Keep tuned into the page. We got a bunch of videos coming in. We back from vacation. We just wanted to bring some awareness, some more awareness to this if we can. Justice for Poppy Dan. Kendra's a bozo, and she needs to be humbled, not canceled. So we thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate y'all. We will catch y'all on the next video. Y'all have a good night.